Greetings, sports fans, from Studio One here in Gassville, Arkansas. It's week number 14. It's past us now, and you're all recovering from a very tough week. That's right, it was tough. We had 7 upsets this week. 7. That's a lot. People got shuffled around this week. There was a lot of people with bad feelings, and there were some with some good feelings. So why don't we start off right there? The people with good feelings, they had double-digit wins. That's right, 10 of them to be exact. And they were The Undertaker, Hollywood, and yes, me. The long-deserved, hard-fought, for many, many, many months, I've been trying to taste a tiebreaker point. Well, I will tell you I've tasted them, and they're almost as good as Mama's Kolachki.
You know, don't question the process.
But it's been a long time, and I'm really glad that we had to have won finally for a week. Only 3 of us. And then we had a bunch of 9-game winners. The Coyote, the Hangster, Cracklin' Rosie, and Lucky Dan all came in right behind us with 9 wins. But first, a little tip of the visit to the 10-game winners. And to myself. Yeah, good job, kid. Then we had the 8-game winners. The Badgers, Jayhawker, Lady Hawk, Batman, and Surfer Girl all had 8 wins this week. Not great, but enough to keep you in the fight, you know. And I've had a lot of 8-game, 9-game wins. It never makes you feel great, but you did better than some other people did. A lot of people crashed and burned this week. It was pretty awful. 7-game winners. Uncle Edge took a little dive this week. Tough week for him. And Mr. Clean only got 7 wins this week. Tough. But we had some 6-game winners. And right now you're feeling pretty rough. The Counselor and Southpaw and Goldilocks. 2 top-tier people. Southpaw and Goldilocks and Uncle Edge, having rough weeks. You know, it's the answer to some of our prayers. That you guys actually didn't do great this week. Gives us a chance to catch you. To run you down. Because lately, you've been doing really good. And the rest of us have been doing lukewarm at best. But the 6-game winners, Counselor and Southpaw and Goldilocks, you were not on the bottom. Believe it or not, the bottom was reserved for the 5-game winners. You know who you are, but I gotta say your names anyway. The Rooster and the Boilermaker. Boilermaker, you are cursed. This is the worst case of PPPS I ever saw. I wish I could direct you to a doctor or something, but nothing can help that. You have to start picking better. You have to win a few bets. And lately, you ain't been winning anything. Rooster, you've been falling off. I know, it's tough, but you've been falling off. Hollywood shot way above you this week with another win. I believe that's 2 weeks in a row for her, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is 2 weeks in a row. But there were some rough games, and there were some decent picks. Not what I would call, you know, it's that time of the show for, pick of the week. But nobody just had one team and by themselves or anything. But here are some notable good picks, shout outs, if you will. Colts at the Jaguars. Lady Hawk, the Hangster, the Undertaker, The Badgers and the Batman all had that pick. That was a good, solid pick. Well done. Another shout out is for me, Hollywood, and The Undertaker. Just so happens us three won this week. And it might be, well, it probably is, because we took the Crazy Titans over the Browns. Oh, I know. Who do you pick? Browns, Titans. Most of you went with the Browns, thankfully. But the rest of us figured if they're going to win a game, it's probably going to be against the Browns. And we had it. That was a good shout-out pick. And one more. Last night's game. The Eagles at the Chargers. Only 4 of us had the Chargers. Me, I had the Chargers, thank goodness. Lady Hawk, Lucky Dan, and the Batman all had the Chargers last night, and that was a really, really, really good pick. So I'm proud of all of you. Good job. Just 7 upsets. How do you pick this crazy league? It's tough. It's tough. And it sounds like my dog is upset. I don't know why she's upset, but she sounds upset. But with that, we'd like to hear a word from our sponsors. The Brotherhood of Degenerate Gamblers is here for you and for people like you. This poor fellow just had a winner. Does he look happy to you? He knows his wife will be asking for money. He knows his bookie wants his money. He knows he owes his mom money. Even his Goomba will want a taste. Don't let this happen to you. The Brotherhood of Degenerate Gamblers can help you hide that money, and even you, if necessary. We are not for profit. We only want you to keep your hard-won money. Think of us as a union, and membership has its benefits. Join us and know what it feels like to be him. All right, let's go to the board. And now the unveiling happens. And this is where we're at this week. Oh, look at that. For 13 solid weeks, Uncle Edge is still on top. Good for you, Uncle Edge. Well done. Last week he had 11 wins. This week only 7. So dare I say it, trending down. Gave me a chance to catch up a little bit. But he's got 142 wins and 5 tiebreaker points, which puts him firmly in first place still. 13 weeks. That's a record. That's a record. Outstanding. Outstanding. Cracklin' Rosie coming in second with 10 wins last week, 9 wins this week. Trending down a little. 140 wins, 2 tiebreaker points. But not too bad, Rosie. Well done. Hangster. He climbed a little bit this week. Last week he had 11 wins. This week he only had 9, on a downward slope there. But 139 wins, 3 tiebreaker points. Solidly in third. Then we got the Jayhawker, who's been battling his way up the ladder for a while. He had 10 wins last week, 8 this week. Downward slope, 138 wins, 4 tiebreaker points. Then we got the Badgers. The Badgers had a tough week. Yeesh. 9 wins last week, 8 wins this week. Trending down a little bit. 137 wins, 5 tiebreaker points. Then Southpaw and Goldilocks, who have been up here for a long time. Above the green line, I'm referring. 10 wins last week, only 6 this week. Oof, that's a kick in the shins there. Trending down, 137 wins, 2 tiebreaker points, but above the green line. Then we got the Lady Hawk. She had 10 last week, only 8 this week. 136 wins, still no tiebreaker points for the Lady Hawk. And Lucky Dan the rookie. He had 10 last week, only 9 this week, for a total of 135, 2 tiebreaker points. Then me, the slow horse, finally gets a win for the week. 9 wins last week, 10 this week. Trending up for the first time in weeks. 134 wins, 1 tiebreaker point. Hollywood still right behind me. 11 wins last week, 10 wins this week. Another win for the week for her. 133 wins, 4 tiebreaker points. Then The Undertaker. 10 wins last week, 10 wins this week. I still say he's trending upward with that win, and he gets another tiebreaker point, giving him 2. So, good job, Undertaker. The Counselor, slipping a little bit. He had 10 wins last week, and then, wow, stepped on a landmine this week. 6 wins. Definitely on a trend down. 132 wins, 1 tiebreaker point. And he's got the Batman right behind him with 10 wins last week, 8 wins this week, 131 wins, 1 tiebreaker point. Then comes my friend the Coyote. 10 wins last week, 9 this week. Trending down a little bit. 131 wins, still no tiebreaker points. Mr. Clean, 9 wins last week. Excuse me. 7 wins this week. Trending down, 130 wins, 1 point. And then the Surfer Girl. She was doing good last week, had 11 wins, but took it on the chin this week, only had 8. For 129 wins, 1 tiebreaker point. And the Rooster, who definitely moved down, he had 9 wins this week, 5 9 wins last week, 5 wins this week. Really tough there. For 127 wins, 2 tiebreaker points. And the Boilermaker, still on the bottom. He had 9 wins last week, 5 this week. So, what else can you do but trend down? And you got 120 wins, no tiebreaker points, which puts you, right there. All right, that's how it shook out here in Gasville. Our Thursday night game is the Falcons at the Buccaneers. We only got, 4 weeks left? That's it. You got to do it. You got to take some chances. Pretty soon, it's going to be over. So I'm coming for you, Unc. If I can somehow catch you, I'm gonna. And everybody else is out for you too. Anyway, this week from Studio One here in Gasville, we bid you a good betting week. And we'll see you next week.